Hi everyone, it's Nadia from YARNutopia. Today we're making this cute little fox mask. How cute is that? I love it. So I'm going to teach you how to make this. We're using Red Heart Super Saver yarn. We are using Redwood, a little bit of black, and some soft white. And then we are also using some craft felt, some elastic, a G-size crochet hook, which is 4 millimeters. You can use this size, this hook. Actually, this hook I got from the Etsy shop Would Be Fancy. Make sure you check out that link in the description of this video. This is a hand-carved ergonomic crochet hook. It is so easy to use and just very comfortable, and they have all kinds of hooks, so this is fixed in there. This is a G6 hook, which is 4.25 millimeters, so if you have the G6 or just a regular G hook, that would make this mask totally fine. And you'll need a scissors, a yarn needle, and I think those are all the supplies. So I'm going to get right into it. If you have any questions about this project, check out the description of this video. Check out the written pattern on YARNutopia.com, where all your answers will be found over there. So let's just get right into it and get started in making this cute little fox mask. Alright, let's start off with the redwood color, or reddish color, and put your short end over the long end, fold that down, and then pull that long end through, and we're making a slip knot right there. You can insert your hook and we can begin. So to start off, let's chain 2, so yarn over and pull through 1 and 2. And in the second chain from the hook, we are going to put 3 single crochets. So this chain right over here, go into there, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Okay, that's a single crochet. So go back into that chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. And again for a third one. And that's row 1. Chain up 1, turn your work around, okay, just like this. And now we're going to put 2 single crochets in the first stitch. So right in here, go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, go back in, and make another single crochet. Then we're going to put 1 single crochet in the next stitch. And then we're going to put 2 single crochets in the last stitch. 1 and 2. And that's row 2. So we should have 5 single crochets on row 2. Now chain 1 and turn your work around. And we're going to be repeating row 2 until we have 21 stitches across. So put 2 single crochets in the first stitch, and then 1 single crochet in each of the stitches in the middle here until we get to the very last stitch, and in the last stitch put 2 single crochets. Okay, so after row 3 you should have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 single crochets. So chain 1, turn your work, going on to row 4 now, repeating row 2 here. We're putting 2 single crochets in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in each stitch until the very last stitch, and in the last stitch put 2 single crochets. So after row 4 we're going to have 9 stitches, and we're going to do this until we get to 21 stitches across, and that will get us to row 10. So I'm just going to repeat this concept until we get to row 10, that will be when we have 21 stitches, and you'll see here the increase is making a triangular shape, which is similar to a fox face. So I'm going to do that. Once I finish row 10, I'll meet you up for row 11. Alright, after doing all the increases, this is what it should look like. It should be a triangular shape, and I just finished row 10 here, so we have 21 stitches across doing that same increase. So now, going on to row 11, we are chaining 1, and we're not increasing on this row. We're just going to single crochet 1 single crochet in each stitch across, for again a total of 21 single crochets. So do that, and then I'll meet you up for row 12. Alright, for row 12 we're going to chain 1, turn our work around, And we are going to do the same increase that we were doing. So put 2 single crochets in the first stitch, and then 1 single crochet into each stitch until 1 stitch remains. And then when we have that 1 stitch left, we're going to put 2 single crochets in the last stitch. So just do that. You'll have 23 stitches then on row 12. So I'm going to do that, and I'll meet you up for row 13. Alright, I have 23 stitches across now for row 12. So going on to row 13, we're going to make the eye holes of this mask. So let's chain 1 and turn our work around. And we're going to half double crochet into the first 2 stitches. So yarn over, go into this first stitch here, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Okay, that's a half double crochet. So yarn over again and go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all 3, just like that. Then we're going to chain 9, so yarn over, pull through, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then we're going to yarn over, because we're going to do a half double crochet, but we're going to skip 7 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go into the next stitch here, yarn over and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through those 3 loops. And we have to half double crochet in 5 stitches. So that was 1, yarn over, go into the next, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. So that's 2. This is 3. Here's 4 and 5. And now we're going to chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Yarn over, hold those on your hook, skip 7 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go into the next stitch. There should be 2 stitches left. We're going to half double crochet in those last 2 stitches. So 1 and 2. Awesome. So there should be 9 half double crochets on this row and 2 chain 9 spaces. So now we're going to go on to row 14 here. We're going to chain up 1 and turn our work, and we're going to single crochet in each stitch and in each chain across. So in this first stitch, single crochet. In this next stitch, put a single crochet. And in these chain 9 spaces, if you wanted to, you could just put 9 single crochets into the chain space, or you can go into these like back ridges here. You can see back ridge, these loops here. We're going to go into those, so just under one of those loops there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, into the next chain, and single crochet in there. So we're just single crocheting in each chain and in each stitch across, and then at the end of this row, this is row 14 here, at the end of row 14 we'll have 28 stitches. So I'm going to do that, and I'll meet you up for row 15. Alright, so I just single crocheted across, so this is what it should look like. So now rows 15 through 19, actually 15 through 20, but I'll meet you up when we go on to row 20 here. Row 15 through 19, we're just going to chain 1 and turn our work, and then just single crochet 1 single crochet in each stitch across. So nothing too exciting here. That's for rows 15 through 19, so the next 5 rows. When we go on to row 20, I will meet you up, only because we are going to be working around this entire piece at that point. So when I finish row 19, I'll meet you up and we'll go on to row 20. Alright, finishing row 19 here. We're going to go on to chaining up 1 and turning our work around. We're going to go on to row 20. And the reason I say that is because we're actually going to crochet around this entire piece now. So I'm going to crochet, even though it will seem like a row 20, we're going to crochet along this edge, and then we're going to turn and work down this edge here, and then up this edge here. So it's kind of like a big triangle that we're going to be working in. So it's called row 20 because we are going to be working across here, but when we come back around, we are going to slip stitch to this first single crochet right here. So I'm just going to single crochet across this row, and then when I get to the other side, I will show you how to turn the corner, and then I'll let you go on to finishing crocheting around this whole piece. Alright, so I'm at this corner here, so I'm going to put 2 single crochets in this corner, and you can see I turned this already. We're going to work down this edge here, and basically wherever your hook fits is where you should put a single crochet, and that's basically in every row down the side here, so we can just go wherever our hook fits along the edge here and make a single crochet. I don't have a stitch count, so however you want to single crochet along this piece, you can. And then when you get to the next corner, just put 2 single crochets in there and then go up the other side. And once I finish this side and the other side, so I'm going to come down this way and then work 2 single crochets here and then come up this way. And when I get back up to the top here, I'll show you how to fasten off. Alright, when you're finished single crocheting around this whole piece, let's slip stitch to the first single crochet right here, go in, yarn over, pull through, and then fasten off. So chain 1, cut that, pull it through, pull it tight, grab your yarn needle, yarn your needle with that straggler so we can sew that in right away. And go behind your work and then just go underneath some stitches here, I don't know, about 5-6 stitches or so, and then just go in, stretch it out. If you want to, you can come back to make sure it is fully secure. And then we're going to cut the extra yarn. Be careful with your scissors, don't cut yourself. There we go. So there is our mask. So now we just have to embellish. So let's make the eye patches here. We have to make both of them because they're both different. So let's set this aside and grab our white yarn. And actually I'm going to use this scraps here. You don't need a whole lot. I'm just going to use a scrap ball of yarn. And we are going to make the left eye first. Okay, so this is the left eye, even though on the screen you're seeing that this is the right side. But when you put this on, this one will be the left eye, and this one will be the right eye. So let's start with the left eye. Let me get my pattern all situated. Alright, let's make a slip knot. So put your short end over the long end, fold that down, and then pull that through and pull tight. Insert your hook, and we can start. So the left eye says to chain 2, so yarn over, pull through 1 and 2. And in the second chain from the hook, we are going to put 2 single crochets. So go into this chain way over here, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. And again, go back in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And that's row 1. Simple. So now let's chain up 1 and turn our work around, just like this. And in each stitch, each of these 2 stitches, we're going to put 2 single crochets in each one of those. So go into this first one and put 2 single crochets in there, 1 and 2. And then in this next one here, we're going to put 2 single crochets in there. It might be a little tough for the first 2 rows here, but after this it's much easier as this piece is getting bigger. So you'll see 4 stitches on row 2. Let's chain up 1 and turn our work. Going on to row 3, we are going to put a single crochet in each of the first 3 stitches. So this first stitch gets 1 single crochet. This next stitch gets 1 single crochet, and this next stitch gets 1 single crochet. Now this next stitch is our last stitch. We're going to put 2 single crochets in there, 1 and 2. So at the end of row 3, we will have 5 stitches. Going on to row 4, we're going to turn our work and chain up 1. And then we're going to put 2 single crochets in the first stitch, 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in the rest of the stitches, which there should be 4 stitches left. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So on row 4, there are 6 single crochets across. Let's chain up 1 and turn the work around. Going on to row 5, we're going to single crochet in the first 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there's 1 stitch left. We're going to put 2 single crochets in there. 1 and 2. So now you should have 7 stitches across for row 5. Going on to row 6, we're going to chain up 1, turn the work around, and now we're doing a little bit different here. We're going to put 2 single crochets in the first stitch, 1 and 2. We're going to put 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There should be 1 stitch left. We're going to put 2 single crochets in there. 1 and 2. So now you should have 9 stitches across for row 6. So now going on to row 7, here we're going to chain up 1, turn the work around. We are going to put 2 single crochets in the first stitch. Whoopsie. 1 and 2, and then we're going to put 1 single crochet in each of the next 7 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So there should be 1 stitch left. We're going to put 2 single crochets in there. 1 and 2. So you should have 11 stitches on row 7. Now going on to row 8, we're going to make the eye hole. So let's chain up 1 and turn our work. And we are going to half double crochet into the first stitch. So yarn over, go into this first stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops here. Now we're going to chain 9. So yarn over, pull through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And we're going to yarn over because we're going to skip 7 stitches here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we're going to half double crochet in each of the last 3 stitches. So 1, 2, these are half double crochets here, and 3. Awesome. Now we are going to chain 1 and turn our work, and now we're actually going to single crochet around this whole piece. So this is basically row 9, so we're going to single crochet in these first 3 stitches here. And just like I showed you on the mask itself, I am going to single crochet into each chain in the back ridge here. So you can see this back ridge. I'm going to go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, and we're just going to go into each chain across here, and then I'm going to continue to single crochet around this piece. But I actually want you to watch me do the whole thing because I'm doing it a little differently at the very bottom tip of this piece, and I'll show you what I mean when I get there. But let me just single crochet here across here. This is basically a row 9. Okay, don't forget this chain right here, and our last stitch right here. Okay, now going down the side, oopsie, going down the side, I'm going to turn this like this. We're going to single crochet around this stitch here, and then wherever our hook fits along this side, just like how we did in the mask part of this tutorial, we are just putting our hook wherever it fits and making a single crochet. And now when I get to the bottom tip of this piece, I'm actually going to double crochet. So you see at the very bottom tip here, I'm going to yarn over, go into that bottom tip corner piece there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 of the loops, and then yarn over and pull through those other 2 loops. Then I'm going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and I'm going to double crochet back into there. So yarn over, go back in, yarn over and pull through, then yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2. Just like that. So now, then when we sew that on, we'll push this together, and that will be more of a tip, more of a pointed tip. And now we're just going to continue to single crochet up this side. And once I get back to the top, I'm going to fasten off. We're not even going to single crochet along the top row because we basically did with row 9. So I'm almost done here. You can also see I'm single crocheting over the top of this straggler to sew it in as I go so I don't have to do it later. And I just have a couple more stitches here. And now we can fasten this off. So just slip stitch to this first single crochet, go in, yarn over, pull through, and through. And then chain 1. We're going to cut this yarn long for sewing. And then we're going to continue to pull it through that chain 1. And then pull tight, stretch this out, grab your mask, make sure that it fits and looks good over that eye hole. So you'll want to kind of stretch this a certain way, making sure that this side is more straight and this side is more slanted. There we go. That looks about right. I mean, it doesn't have to be. It can be more like a triangular shape. But once you sew it on, you'll be able to stretch it and maneuver your stitches to where you want them to go. So there's the left eye. Okay, now we just need to make the right eye, and the right eye is opposite of this. So let's grab some more yarn, more white yarn, and we will go on to this side. Alright, let's make a slip knot. So put your short end over the long end, fold that down, pull that through, and pull tight. For the right eye, I'm going to do it a little bit faster because it is very similar to the left eye. So if you need to, you can follow along with the written pattern, or you can always pause this, rewind it if I'm going a little too fast. So let's chain 2, 1 and 2, and in that second chain, we're going to put 2 single crochets. 1 and 2, and then we're going to chain 1 and turn our work around, and in each of those stitches we're going to put 2 single crochets. 1 and 2, hop to the next, and put 2 in there. Whoopsie, there we go. 1 and 2. Then chain up 1, turn your work. Going on to row 3, we're going to put 2 single crochets in the first stitch. 1 and 2, and then 1 single crochet in the rest of the stitches on this row. So you should have 5 stitches for row 3. Oopsie. Okay, going on to row 4, chain 1, turn your work. Row 4, we're going to single crochet into the first 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then put 2 single crochets in the last stitch. So we'll have 6 stitches on row 4. Chain 1, turn your work around. We're going to put 2 single crochets in our first stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the rest of the stitches on this row, which should be 5. So at the end of row 5, you should have 7 single crochets. Chain 1 and turn your work. Going on to row 6, we are going to put 2 single crochets in the first stitch. 1 and 2. 1 single crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then 2 single crochets in the last stitch. 1 and 2, and then chain up 1, turn the work. You should have 9 stitches on row 6. Row 7, we are going to be putting 2 single crochets in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in the next 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then 2 single crochets in the last stitch, 1 and 2. So after row 7, you should have 11 stitches across. Chain 1, turn your work. We're going to make the eye hole now for row 8. We are going to half double crochet into the first stitch. Then we're going to chain 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Half double crochet into the last 3 stitches. So skip 7 stitches there. 1, 2, and 3. Then chain 1, turn the work, and single crochet all the way around this piece, just like I showed you for the first one. So do that, and then I'll meet you up and we'll sew these babies to our mask. Alright, so I just fastened this off exactly how I fastened that one off. Whoopsie. Then now we want to just sew these on, so position them sort of like this. Okay, make sure that they kind of come in at the nose part, and then make sure the eye holes kind of line up. And now we're just going to sew these on. So grab your yarn needle. We're going to sew on this one first. They both are sewn on the same, so I'm just going to show you one and then you can sew on the other one. So we're just going to yarn our needle. Okay, and then we're going to line this up by our eye hole and go into a stitch on the edge. Okay, and we're just going to go back and forth through the layers, just like that, through each stitch. I'm also going to sew around the eye hole so that this piece is lined up around each stitch around the eye hole as well. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that, and then actually when I just keep doing this, sew it however you feel is most comfortable for you, how you like to make it look. This is creator's choice right now, so we can sew it on how you want. And then once you have it all sewn on, I'll show you how to fasten that off, weave in your ends, and I'll sew on my other one in the meantime. Alright, so I just sewed on both of these pieces here. I'll show you how to fasten off once you have them all sewn on. You can see the back side looks like this because we were just going in and out, in and out. So now we're going to go underneath a few of these stitches, and I'm going to put my finger in this loop here, and then I'm going to come back through that loop and remove my finger and pull that tight, and that ties it off. And you can do that a few times, a couple times if you want to. Just put your finger in that loop and then bring that through and then pull it tight. Okay, and then to hide this, we're going to go between the 2 layers of the mask and the eye portion of this, just going through the 2 layers and pulling that and then cutting the extra, and then stretch it out to have it hidden. And there you go. So, oh my gosh, it's starting to look like a fox. Finally. Awesome. Okay, so now let's go on to making the nose. Grab some black yarn. Let's set this aside. And the black yarn, we are going to, let me grab my pattern here. It says the nose is very similar to what we made the deer. So we are going to, the deer mask. So we are going to make the same nose as the deer. If you've seen that video, you'll know what to do. Just make a slip knot starting off here. Okay, grab your hook, insert that, and we are going to chain 2, so yarn over and pull through 1 and 2, and in the second chain from the hook, we are going to put 6 single crochets. So go in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 1, here's 2, Here's 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we're going to slip stitch to the first single crochet of this round. So if you need to count back 6, go into the first single crochet there, yarn over, pull through, and pull through for a slip stitch. And that was round 1. For round 2, we're going to chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3, and that's going to count as our first stitch. So in that same stitch that we just slip stitched into and chained up 3 in, we are going to double crochet. So yarn over, go back into that same stitch, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Then in the next stitch, we're going to half double crochet, so yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And then we're going to single crochet in there as well. So go back in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. In the next stitch, we're going to single crochet and we're going to half double crochet. Then in the stitch after that, we are going to put 2 double crochets. So 1 and 2. And then in the next stitch, we're going to kind of repeat what we did. So half double crochet and single crochet. And then in the next stitch, or our last stitch on this round, we're going to put a single crochet and a half double crochet. And then we're going to slip stitch to that chain up 3. So 1, 2, 3, right at the top, just go in there, yarn over, pull through, and pull through, pull tight, and then chain 1. Let's fasten off with, we're going to cut with a long strand of yarn here and pull that all the way through. We're going to use that for sewing. And now if you do have a little hole in the center here of your nose here, we're going to actually take that straggler from the beginning that we made making our slip knot there. We're going to yarn our needle with that short strand, if we can. Try to yarn your needle. I'll show you how to close that little hole. If you started with a magic ring, you won't have that hole. But if you do have that, you can just go underneath the base of the stitches of round 1. Just go underneath them. And will be kind of difficult to see since this is black yarn. So go through underneath the base of those stitches and just pull, and that closes that little circle. And you can just go all the way around. Awesome. Once that's closed, if you want to, you can cut that little strand a little shorter. And then we're going to sew that to our fox face, sideways here. So we want it to touch both of the white pieces and also be at the base of the face right there. So I'm going to sew that on exactly how I sewed on those 2 white pieces. We're just going to yarn the needle. We can. I think I need a bigger needle. I was having trouble doing this earlier too. Come on. This is like the worst part. This is the hardest part of this whole project. Alright, let's hold the nose down there and then just go in and then just come out. Okay? And then I'm just going to fasten off exactly how I showed you, just keeping my finger in the loop and then coming back through the loop and tying off. I'm just going to sew this on and fasten off camera so that you don't have to keep seeing me do this stuff. So I'm going to sew this nose on and then we'll go on to making the ears. This is turning out to be so cute. There's the nose. So now we can go on to making the ears. So let's set this aside and grab our same color as our fox here. We're going to grab the reddish color. It's called Redwood in Red Heart Yarns, and I'll put the link to this specific yarn in the description so you can find this color online. But just make a slip knot here, and then we're going to insert our hook. And for the ears, we are going to chain 2, so yarn over, pull through 1 and 2, and in the second chain from the hook we are going to single crochet 6 times. So go into that second chain right there, yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So that's 1, here's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now I'm going to work in continuous rounds, so I'm going to insert a stitch marker or just a random piece of yarn here just to mark my rounds. You can put in a legit stitch marker if you have one. And I'm also going to work in the back loops only. So if you can see here, we usually work through both loops like this, both loops, both loops, both loops. This loop that's furthest away from you is called the back loop. Okay, so that's what we're going to work in. So in this next round, we're just going to put 1 single crochet into each stitch around. So go into this back loop of this first stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, go into the next stitch, back loop only, and single crochet. Next stitch, back loop only, and single crochet. So there should be 6 single crochets on round 2 as well. And that will just make it come to a point. Okay, now we want to go on to round 3, so I'm going to move my stitch marker up. Round 3, we are going to put 2 single crochets in the back loop of every stitch. So go into this next stitch right here, back loop only, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, go back into that same stitch and make another single crochet. Next stitch, back loop only, let's stretch this out here, there we go, back loop only, put 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. Hop to the next and put 2 single crochets in there, and we're doing this all the way around, putting 2 single crochets in each stitch. You will have 12 single crochets at the end of round 3, and I'm there. Just 1 stitch left. So if you need to, count back, make sure you have 12 stitches. Now round 4, let's see here, round 4 and 5, we are going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So I'm going to move my stitch marker up, and for rounds 4 and 5, I'm just putting 1 single crochet in each stitch on the back loop only. So I'm just going to do that, and then I'll meet you up for round 6. Alright, I just did rounds 4 and 5 here, so now we're going to go on to round 6 and we're going to increase. So move your stitch marker up, and we are going to put 2 single crochets in this next stitch, 1 and 2. And then we're just going to put 1 single crochet in the stitch after that. And then we're just going to repeat that all the way around. So put 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet in the next. And see, I'm still working in the back loops only, so just repeat 2 single crochets in the next stitch and 1 single crochet in the next. And at the end of round 6, you will have 18 single crochets, and I'm almost back around here so you can see what I'm going to do next. Alright, so I have 18 single crochets around. Now, going on to rounds 7, 8, and 9. The next 3 rounds, I'm moving my stitch marker up. We are going to just put 1 single crochet in each stitch around for the last 3 rounds here. And then once I finish round 9, I'll show you we can fasten off and we can go on to the next step. Alright, when you finish round 9, just go under both loops of the next stitch. We're going to slip stitch. So go in, yarn over, pull through, and we can fasten this off with a long tail. So chain 1, cut that yarn quite long for sewing, pull that all the way through and pull it tight. We can remove that stitch marker, and we have a cute little ear. It's very similar to a cat ear, which you could probably turn this project into a cat, which would be so cute. So now we're going to sew these. Oh, you have to rewind this actually and make 2 of these. I have 2 already done. So we're going to make these and sew them. You can stretch them out, make them look foxy, however foxy ears look, maybe more like that. So kind of stretch them, shape them, however you want. There we go. So I'm gonna sew these onto this fox like that. So we'll just rewind this and make another ear exactly the same. And then once you have both of them, we're going to take our yarn needle, yarn our needle with that long straggler that we cut, that long strand, and then we're going to sew this on the back side. So just go right here, okay? And we're going to go into our mask and then back through. And we're just going to go back and forth, just like how we sewed on the other pieces. Just going back and forth along this edge. And I'll do one on camera here so you can see, and then I'll do the other one. I'll let you be and you can do the other one. All right. All the way through. And then, once you finish, you want to come back through here. Okay, and then let's check out the front here. Make sure, see how this kind of comes forward. We don't want that to happen. So what we're going to do is come back through and sew up that very top line. Okay, we don't want any curling or any weird things happening to our project. Okay, then you want to end on the inside, so go back through. Okay, so that looks good. Come through here, go underneath a few stitches, like that. Keep your finger in that loop, come back through that loop, and pull tight. Awesome. And then you can just hide this strand inside of the ear if you want to. Just going through the ear, pulling that, cutting any extra, stretching it out, make sure it's hidden, and then like I said, you can shape this how you want. Okay, it's kind of, those foxy ears are kind of like that. Okay, so I'm just going to do that to the other one, and then I'll meet you up for the next step. Alright, so I just sewed on this other ear, so both ears are on, but I still want to put a little bit of white felt inside of here to make it look like an actual fox. So I have some felt. Let me get this out of the way. Sorry guys, I know you can't see this, but I'm doing stuff off camera. So I have pieces, I just used some white felt here, and I cut little triangles, well, they're kind of rounded on one side, like round and then straight, and the rounded side is going to come on the outside, okay, and I'm going to just glue these down into each ear, just like that. So I have some tacky glue, and I'm going to just glue this, and actually I don't know if you can see it, but my felt is sparkly on one side. So I'm going to glue down the sparkly side. So you can't see the sparkles. If you want sparkles though, sparkly fox. There we go. So I'm just gluing that down with some tacky glue. If you want to, you can use like fabric glue, but just it gets kind of messy. So there we go. And just glue that down. Okay, and then just let that sit dry. And now we want to, I'm full of glue now. We want to put some elastic around here so it is actually a mask. So to do that, we are going to measure out some elastic that is half of the circumference size of your head. So my circumference around my head is 22 inches, and so half of that is 11 inches, and that's how much I need to cut my elastic to be. So I have this measure tape, and I'm measuring my elastic out to be 11 inches without stretching it. Okay, so that's right about there, and that's where I'm going to cut it. Alright, and then, hey, like this video if you understood the cut it reference. So now let's grab some yarn needle and some yarn here. And we want to cut 2 strands of white yarn. Okay, I'm going to yarn my needle with this one of these strands. Okay, and then we're going to flip over this fox mask. We are going to put one side next to the eye, and we're going to go in with our yarn needle through there. Okay, and then just come right back through, see, come right back through, and make sure you get through the elastic as well. There we go. Okay, you can sew this on with regular thread if you want to, but I find this to be just a little bit easier. I'm just going to tie this in a knot really tightly. Okay, and if you want to, you can sew in these ends, or like me, I'm just going to cut this short, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to bring this, without twisting our elastic, we're going to bring it to the other side. Okay, and we're going to actually yarn our needle first and then do the same thing to the other side. So I'll do that, and then I'll meet you up when I have my elastic sewn on. Alright, so there it is. I just sewed on the elastic there, and it is a mask now. That is so adorable. So thank you so much for watching and learning how to make this fox mask. I hope you enjoy it and you can play some games. If you liked this video, make sure to check out the other mask videos I have for the owl, the fawn, deer, and the cute little bunny rabbit for Easter. How adorable. So check out all these videos. You can make all of these masks and have a fun little masquerade Halloween style game you can play, or just play some dress up. So just make some fantasy characters, and with these shapes that I teach you how to make, you can make any animal. You could make a panda, you could make a different bird, you could make a teddy bear. You can make all kinds of masks just using these techniques. So make sure to share your masks if you make them, share them on social media, hashtag YARNutopia, and make sure to like my page, like this video if you learned something, and check out all those links in the description of this video for all the information for this project and where you can follow me on social media. I love this fox. It's so cute. I have to say one last thing. A big thank you to my dad, Fuad, Azmat, for taking the time to make this video with us. He is our videographer, editor, and photographer for all of these videos. So make sure you subscribe to our channel here on YouTube so you can get that update on when he posts our next video. So click that. It's over here on your screen right about now. So click the subscribe. Thanks everyone. Have a great day. Happy hooking!